Organizing your work and life can seem like an overwhelming task, especially if you identify as someone who struggles with motivation or tends to procrastinate. But here's the truth: being lazy doesn't mean you can't live an organized, productive life. It just means you need to find systems that work for you and strategies that simplify your tasks. The goal isn't to force yourself into a rigid routine you'll never stick to, but rather to develop habits and methods that make it easier to stay on track without burning yourself out. The first step to organizing your work and life, even if you're feeling lazy, is to break tasks down into small, manageable steps. One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is because tasks seem too big or overwhelming. When you look at a huge project or a long to-do list, your brain shuts down, and you avoid it altogether. Instead, focus on breaking each task down into the smallest possible steps. For example, if you need to organize your workspace, start by setting a timer for 5 minutes to clear one section of your desk. Small, bite-sized actions feel less daunting, and before you know it, you've made progress without feeling overwhelmed. Another helpful strategy is to prioritize the most important tasks first. This is often referred to as eating the frog, the idea that you should tackle the hardest or most important task of the day first thing in the morning, before you have a chance to procrastinate. When you get the big, necessary tasks out of the way early, you'll feel accomplished and have more mental space for the rest of the day. Plus, completing the most important work first prevents you from scrambling to finish things last minute or stressing out because you've been avoiding them. One of the best ways to stay organized when you're prone to laziness is to create routines. Routines take the decision-making process out of the equation, which helps prevent procrastination. When something becomes part of your routine, you don't have to think about whether or not you'll do it, you just do it automatically. For example, if you struggle with keeping your living space clean, build a simple routine where you spend 10 minutes tidying up every morning or evening. Over time, this becomes a habit, and you no longer have to convince yourself to do it. Routines simplify your day and make it easier to stay organized without needing tons of motivation. Setting clear and realistic goals is another way to organize your work and life, even if you're feeling lazy. Many people fail to get organized because their goals are too vague or too ambitious. Instead of setting broad goals like get organized or be more productive, set specific, achievable goals with deadlines. For example, I will spend 30 minutes every day organizing my inbox for the next week is a clear and doable goal. This makes it easier to stay on track because you know exactly what you need to do and when it needs to be done. Another trick for organizing your life when you're not feeling motivated is to eliminate distractions. Sometimes laziness is less about not wanting to do the work and more about constantly getting distracted. Whether it's social media, TV, or other distractions, these can easily eat away at your time and make you feel like you're not getting anything done. Try creating an environment where it's easier to focus by turning off notifications, setting your phone aside, or working in a quiet space. This can help you stay on task, even if you're not feeling particularly motivated. Using tools like planners, calendars, or to-do lists can also be a lifesaver for staying organized when you're feeling lazy. These tools help you visually map out your tasks, deadlines, and priorities, so you always know what needs to be done next. You don't have to use complicated systems, simple is often better. A basic to-do list or a calendar app on your phone is enough to keep track of your responsibilities. The key is to find a tool that works for you and stick with it. By having everything written down or scheduled, you remove the mental burden of trying to remember everything, making it easier to stay organized. Another helpful tip is to reward yourself for completing tasks. If you're someone who struggles with motivation, giving yourself small rewards for accomplishing tasks can be a great incentive. For example, after finishing a work task, you might reward yourself with a 10-minute break to do something you enjoy, or treat yourself to a snack or favorite activity once you've completed a project. Rewards make the process of getting things done feel more enjoyable and give you something to look forward to. It's also important to stop aiming for perfection. One reason people feel stuck or unmotivated is because they think they need to do everything perfectly, and when they feel like they can't, they don't do anything at all. Instead, focus on progress, not perfection. Even small improvements in your work or organization habits are better than staying stuck in the same old routine. By giving yourself permission to make mistakes or do things imperfectly, you'll find it much easier to stay organized and productive without the pressure of doing everything right. Lastly, embrace the concept of batching tasks. Instead of switching between different tasks throughout the day, group similar tasks together and do them all at once. For example, if you need to reply to several emails, set aside a specific time to reply to all of them in one go, rather than interrupting your day every time a new email comes in. Batching tasks helps you stay focused and reduces the mental effort needed to switch between tasks, making it easier to get things done efficiently. In summary, even if you consider yourself lazy or struggle with procrastination, you can still organize your work and life effectively. It's about finding strategies that work for you, breaking tasks into smaller steps, prioritizing the most important work, establishing routines, setting clear goals, eliminating distractions, and using simple tools to keep track of your responsibilities. By making these small changes, you can stay organized without feeling overwhelmed, and you'll be surprised at how much easier it becomes to manage both your work and personal life.